When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive where people are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding.
Yeah. But if you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
There's people out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And that's their grind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and those people are super valuable because they change everybody's perspective of like what's possible, what to strive for, and what it takes. Mm-hmm. Like, do you really want to be a champion? Why? Because you just want to be cool? You want to be the coolest guy on the block? Like, you're not gonna win. You're gonna find some psychopath who just lives it. And it's their whole life. And if it's not your whole life, get out. Get out.
You have goals that are maybe outside your reach. You have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks.
It's easy to give up.
Hell yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going.
Yeah,
I don't feel like going to work. I'm done.
Yeah, man.
It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yo, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
Consistency, man. That's the name of the game, bro. Don't get much simpler than that. If you keep going every single day and don't stop, your competition will fall off, bro. These niggas ain't cut like you, bro. They ain't ready for prime time. They ain't trying to really get right. They take days off, this day off, that day off. They lazy, I'm tired. No. Grind every day, one foot in front of the other, bro. And I promise you, I'm gonna be lapping these folks, bro. Give it a year. Watch what happens.
Some of you been average for so damn long, you don't know what it is to do hard work. But there's a lot of you out there who want to be much more than average, but just don't know how to do it every single day, the grind. You need to find someone to oil those fucking gears up. So check it out. This is a mindset. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there's a motherfucker out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you can have.
Be the now of what you want to be later. It starts right now.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or received?
Do so much work, it would be unreasonable for you not to be successful.
If you want to be great, you want to be the baddest motherfucker ever at what you do, you could be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so fucking obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived.
You're gonna hate yourself in the morning. Why are you pulling back? No, don't tell me yes. Why? Stay inside. He's hitting you with the right hand every time. You don't listen. God damn it, Lexus. Where are you supposed to be? Do not back up.
Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Wallahi.
I think whenever we're going through a hard time, we just want it to end. But it's those moments that allow us to appreciate the good ones.
Don't think about the 135 miles of scorching highway in front of you. Just don't even think about it. Just focus on the present. Don't think about climbing Town Pass or Father Crowley or Mount Whitney. Don't think about 135-degree temperatures as you pass the sand dunes. Because you know the official temperature's in Furnace Creek, where it's much cooler than where you're headed.
A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
The difference between him and I was just between the ears. Once I was equipped with that, I started to believe that the sky was truly the limit for me, and I'm still that person today.
You gotta find the thing that's the pain, and like pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure does. Like people are like, no, passion's the right way. It's like point a gun at a family member, all of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation. Pain.
Welcome to the pain zone. It's where we live. Pull in! Come on! 45 fucking pounds! One more. Ready? Go. Fight me! Fight hard! Go! Okay.
Sometimes it wins, sometimes it don't. More losses than wins, but when you do win, you win so big, it makes up for everything.
It's going to show me that when something feels impossible, it's not until it's not. You know, I got to keep pushing through and figuring it out. So the stress is okay to feel in adversity. It's where the stress leads you that you need to avoid. You need to prevent the stress from being strong enough to make you avoid adversity in the first place. If you start to feel stress about adversity, I think diving right into it is like the secret for growth.
I was a paver for these crazy Italian guys in Boston. That was the greatest job I ever had. That taught me what real work was. You go lay asphalt and you do construction and pour concrete and these type of things, that's when you really find out what real work is, what hard work is. These people that work construction and paving and things like this, they get up every day and they work hard. So me, like people say, I work hard. I saw a quote where you said Stephen A. Smith works hard, and I agree with you. Hard work. Hard work. You go spend a couple weeks following a construction crew, and they'll show you what hard work is really all about.
You know, you have these big goals and the race is coming up and everything else, and in your head you're gonna win and everything else, but as soon as you start to run and you start to hit that wall, all of a sudden you lose the will because the pain is so much. You know, it's a pride versus pain threshold. Pride's forever, pain's temporary. Only if you push past the pain to get to the pride. We start to find out how bad you want it. That's again the pre-study, to understand why you're doing it, not because of sex appeal or this guy did that. Understand why you're doing it. Therefore you know what to do. Therefore you know when it starts to hurt, it's not like you didn't know it was coming. You welcome that because this hurt is letting you know you're fixing something that's insufficient in your life, making it stronger, giving value to the end goal result that you want. So when you feel the pain, you're willing to keep going because you've done the research on why that pain should be. And when you feel it, you're like, now I'm in it, man. Now I'm actually getting better than I was earlier today. So it excites you instead of most people saying, hey, throw the towel in. It's gotta be that way, guys. The pre-study, understanding that kind of stuff. So at those times where you're questioning if you have anything left, no, a day from then, a week from then, a month from then, a year from then, you will never remember the discomfort of the pain. You will always remember the pride of the accomplishment. That lives on. That's why pain is temporary. Pride is forever, guys. You give it your all, you get it all. Tenfold.
How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly. I know what the mind can do and where it can take you. I've experienced it over and over, and my mom has seen it over and over and over again, to the point where it's almost like I can't even believe sometimes, but I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to push myself to that limit and see what happens.
See, the thing about life, we're gonna die, right? Eventually we're gonna die, but our legacy can live on.
I tell kids all the time, if you even have this much savage in you, everything out there right now is for the taking. There was a point in time in the United States where you would look at different businesses and say, God, it's almost impossible to break into this business because it's been so established, and even the companies, all these companies that are so soft right now, everything out there is for the taking. If you have even this much savage in you, if you are willing to go out there and grind and work hard, and these people that don't want to, stay home, man. Stay home and do your thing. Good luck to you. I wish you all the luck in the world. there's going to be a small group of hungry savages out there that are going to run every one of you over.
Don't listen to anyone. Everybody's full of shit. Nobody knows you or what you're capable of doing. And here's the reality. The hardest thing in life is figuring out who you are and what you want to do for the rest of your life. It's a big decision. And once you figure that out, you wake up every day and you work toward it. That's what you do. It's impossible for you to fail if you know who you are, what you want to do, and you wake up every day and work toward it. If you're a f***ing savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man. And this whole COVID thing, people don't want to go back to work and, you know, they want to stay home and all this bullshit. And this next generation is just such a f***ing group of pussies, man. I just, for the small group of savages out there, run these kids right over, man. Run them all over.
The thing is with me is I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what anybody says or what anybody thinks. I have this mindset. I know exactly who the fuck I am. I have my circle of people that I hang around with who know me and know what I'm about and whatever. And anybody else who doesn't like it or doesn't want it, bad.
I said to myself, what are you willing to give up? Everything. And when people come to me with that kind of mindset, I can work with you. When you are willing to strip yourself down to nothing and give everything, that's who I want to work with. Because now I can mold you into exactly who you want to be.
Because the majority of people think there's no way they could ever do it.
And that's the reason why they can't do it. That's the only reason. They have already put their cap on their success in life. And that's why most people aren't sitting where you're sitting. They're sitting where you're sitting.
We're all writing a book. What's your book look like? What does your fucking book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you gonna look up. These days gonna keep going by.
If I could work that hard every day, with being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day, so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. That was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, you do that for 20 years, what do you have?
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Okay. Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
Nobody in his history of coaching had your level of work ethic. I mean, you hear so many guys tell stories about your work ethic. Yeah. What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. I mean, since 20 years. It was an everyday process, and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses.
What's the least amount of sleep you played a game on? Is there a story where it's like, no one knows about, where you went and played a game and it was so insane for whatever reasons?
No sleep.
You played a game with zero sleep.
Zero sleep. Zero sleep.
Life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground. It's a testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We are all underdogs in life. Even the baddest person in the world should think that way. So you should always have I've never arrived mentality.
And the can't hurt me mentality, doesn't matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from. When I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt me. Nothing should be able to hurt you. If you believe that, it starts to become true.
What have you learned about how to deal with and overcome fear?
Go. All that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go.
I wasn't invited to parties or family gatherings on the weekend. So on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go in my rec room with my basketball and basically dribble myself to sleep. And I think that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Because during those lonely hours in the rec room, I discovered the hunger, the motivation, and the desire to be the best possible basketball player that I could be. And here I am today.
So it's a process. It's a real process that you can actually, in the 3-month time, you have absorbed the self-discipline. That's why I always tell people, it's not a one-night event. To get vitamin and learning to say no in everything is not easy. No. Setting your priorities right is not easy. Avoid complaining in anything is not easy. But if you combine the 3 things, you can handle self-discipline. And without those 3, then there is no self-discipline. That's what I mean by actually trying to tell people self-discipline is the key to any professional sports person or sportswoman.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're 2 different things. All right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Simple and plain. Accept the loss and say, you know what, Mayweather, you know what? You was the better fighter. It's okay to be number 2. It's okay to be right behind me. It's okay.
If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud.
Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting for conditions to be perfect. They're waiting for the sun to shine, the temperature to be right, all the stars to align, and then have some sort of sign that tells them to go. And I'm here to tell you guys that will never happen. Conditions will never be perfect. Things will never align. There will always be a reason for you to put off what should be done right now for a later time. In today's environment, no one likes to talk about winners and losers, and everybody likes to pretend like everybody's the same, but they're not. Winners are gonna go regardless of what the circumstances are, and losers are always gonna wait until the perfect time. And you understand that the perfect time will never come, which is why they never become anything. You can't change the weather, but you can change your preparation for the weather. Right. And so if you build yourself into someone who's a bad motherfucker that can handle these situations as they come through life, you're gonna be far more successful than the person who gets hit with one wave of hardship and then tells that story for the rest of their life.
Now see anything is possible and that you could train for anything. There's nothing you can't do. You can't be the best in the world at something, but you can be a lot better than you are at anything you want to put the time into learning, whatever it is. You could do anything.
Set up a schedule and just do the work. Free from how you feel. Because also feelings sometimes You wake up one day, you feel this way, you wake up the next day, you feel another way. And it's just not helpful to base your structure or your goal on how you feel.
It all starts with who you are. You know, I always tell our players, who you are is more important than what you do. How high you jump, how fast you run, because who you are is your character. And your character is an accumulation of your thoughts, your habits, and your priorities on a day-to-day basis, because those three things determine the choices you make, and the choices you make you who you are. Good guy, bad guy, hardworking, lazy, responsible, irresponsible. And it takes a certain amount of discipline to do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, the way it's supposed to get done. Be a champion. You know, I always tell the players, you got to be a champion before you're ever going to win a championship. So what does it take to be a champion? Who you are is important. All the things I'm talking about is important. All right, but everybody has got to be committed to being all they can be and the things that they choose to do. And it's really up to you what you choose to do and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. But if you don't aspire to be the best that you can be at whatever it is you choose to do, you're never going to be happy. If you don't have the discipline to do it, if you don't have discipline, one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to suffer through the pain of disappointment or the pain of discipline, because it's not easy to be disciplined, but you're never going to get to be what you want to be if you don't have it. You know, we have about 5 choices, you know, in our life. You know, we can be bad at what we do. I mean, we can be average at what we do. I mean, we can be good at what we do, which probably is God's expectation for whatever ability He gave us, or we can be excellent, or we can be elite. And everybody has a choice as to what they want to do and how they want to do that. But if you're going to be excellent or elite, you got to do special things. You have to have special intensity, you have to have special focus, you have to have a special commitment and drive and passion to do things at a high level and a high standard all the time. And it doesn't matter what God-given ability that you have, that probably can make you good. But without the rest of it, I'm not sure you ever get excellent or elite.
We are overcoming the suffering. We are not running away from the suffering. You are overcoming it. You go through it until you have become so strong. Your body becomes so strong. Your mind has become so strong that it doesn't matter afterwards anymore. You feel it, but it's not the same like you felt before.
We're learning to keep our eyes on the horizon of where we're going, the path, saying the pain that we're feeling is a small, necessary, welcoming down payment for the future reward that's coming. We don't mind investing that pain because our future's looking brighter and brighter. With every drop of sweat, ounce of blood that we shed out of this body, the weakness leaving, the horizon's looking brighter and brighter and brighter as we take on the pain. Not a problem with the pain. We like the pain. Pain is a glue of transformation. It's making that reality more concrete, more. Again, guys, you gotta come through and walk this life once in a while to see what I'm talking about, to see how exciting it can be, the vastness of what the possibilities are. Okay, it's either you're the servant or the master of those potentials, guys. You close them or you open them every day. Your attitude dictates them.
People need to suffer. It is an actual requirement of life. It is the fiber, the DNA of love. Real love and true love and perpetuity can't exist without suffering. It's impossible.
We don't appreciate it.
Yeah, you have to have suffering. And suffering doesn't have to be looked at as a negative thing. It could be looked at as a beautiful thing. It's where real love comes out of.
Desire is the starting point of all change. The most important question that you have to ask yourself in life is how badly do you want what you want? How badly do you want it? Or do you want it at all? You see, there's an awful lot of people who want an awful lot of things. But how badly do they want it? If you want it so badly, if you want it with tremendous intensity of desire, there's really nothing in the world that can stop you from getting it. There's an interesting story that was told about Socrates, and Socrates was talking to one of his students, and the student said, "I am hungry for knowledge. What can I do to increase my knowledge?" And Socrates said, knowledge is something that is readily available and easy to get if you want it bad enough. He said, I'm sure I want it badly enough. And Socrates said, come with me. And he walked him offshore into the ocean and walked him offshore into the Aegean Sea. And they got about 3 or 4 feet, and Socrates, a very, very strong man, grabbed the young man and put his head under the water. And the young man began to struggle and struggle and struggle, and finally became incredibly frantic, and finally brought him up. And he said, now what did you want while you were under the water? And he said, all I wanted was air. He said, all I could think of in the whole world was air. He said, when you want knowledge with the same intensity that you wanted that oxygen, you will get all the knowledge that you could desire. And when you want anything with great intensity, if you have the desire, you'll get it.
2026 is your year, but not because a hope and dream is going to get you there. Hope is not a business plan. Hope is not a plan at all. And a dream just lives in your head. It becomes a plan when you start writing it out. You have these 6 steps and you start executing. You have a system of accountability. You hold yourself accountable. You have people around you who can hold you accountable. And you have people around you who share the same goals, dreams, visions, ambitions. And when you ruthlessly cut out the negative and toxic people and you surround yourself, even if it's only you and one other person, with people who are sharing the same values, you become a unstoppable rocket ship. And that, my friend, is how you upgrade your life in 2026. You win big in 2026, and you end up developing massive momentum for 2027 down the road.
Control freak is a word people with low standards use to describe people with high standards. You're not a control freak. You just want it done right the first time. You're not anxious, you care. Do not expect mediocre people to support world-class goals.
Motherfucker, the purpose is you. We forget that. Every day I wake up and I don't want to do some. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a bitch today? Do you want to feel like a little bitch? Do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? So it's perform without purpose. You have to learn how to get up and do. You ain't got no 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life sucks. You're in the dungeon. But guess what? I'm still going to get it. Because when that time comes, because the time is going to come, when that purpose is there, you'll be ready. But most of us aren't ready because we don't know how to do without having the golden carrot in front of us.
Yeah.
And so you're all. It's hard to imagine, but you have to learn how to fail. Because I'm going to explain this to you. I had big dreams. A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're going to have a lot of bad days, a lot of setback.
You get up every day, you're entitled to nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. You could have talent, but if you don't have discipline and you don't execute, you don't focus, what do you get? Nothing. If you're complacent and not paying attention to detail, what does that get you? Nothing. So nothing is acceptable but your best. So we need to be, everything is determined by what you do and you trying to be your best so that you can build on positive performance so that, and that's the only thing, there should be nothing else.
I can't make a track team. I didn't even know why you
Yes, you can. If you can take it, you can make it.
What?
You can take it, you can make it. All right, you train, you fight way harder than those other guys, and you win. You get out from under them. You could do this, Lou. Just gotta believe you can.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time.
The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
You have to want to be better. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better.
Do the best you can. These are years that you can't get back. The saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
You have to be obsessed. You have to be mission focused. You have to be driven by something greater than what average people are driven by.
Work your ass off. There is no magic bill. There is no magic out there. You cannot get around. You have to work and work and work. I can tell you, it's all about the hard work that you put in.
There's gonna be plenty of times where you don't feel like waking up, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like getting your workout in, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like drinking your 30 ounces of water, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like eating clean, but you do it anyway, because that is what greatness demands of us.
Those I can't catch a break guys, get them the f away from me. I can't be around those guys. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you got to realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why do I always have these challenges? They're cancer. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses.
I would look for any excuse to justify me not doing what I was supposed to do.
I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking this record. People are like, oh my God. I went right to a pen and paper. They go, what are you doing? I'm doing the math, man. What are you talking about? I'm open-minded to the fact that, okay, if I do 5 pull-ups in a minute for so many hours, I can get so many pull-ups in. How much time do I have to rest? I was breaking the math down. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen.
When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear. And the reason why, behind every fear is a person you want to be.
Make a choice. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life.
Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
The greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broke on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained.
You have to build yourself into someone who can continue to execute regardless of what's happening around you.
And what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. It's a lifetime of thinking about why the fuck did I do that?
We're built to walk uphill. And when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the vision, but the next thing you want is a higher hill in the distance, because it's the uphill climb that it's from the uphill climb that we derive our value. And I mean this technically. You want a goal that you can never attain, right? So you can always move closer to the goal that recedes as you move towards it. You think, well, that's frustrating. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. But it's not, because as you pursue that goal, you put yourself together and your life does get better and richer and more abundant.
You can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much f***ing work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out. Like if you do 1,000 podcasts, you'll be pretty f***ing good at podcasts, right? But if you try to say, okay, you're brand new, and all you have to do is make one perfect podcast. The problem is that you don't have the perspective from which to make a judgment to say what is good, because you have zero data to base anything off of.
Everybody knows you got to pay a price for winning, but most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily. Just like the stock market goes up and down, the price of winning changes on a daily basis. You got to be willing to pay that price, whatever it is on that day.
For me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. The only way I can turn it around is put myself through the worst things possible a human being can ever endure. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
Whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence.
Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible.
What about work-life balance in your 20s?
Because that's the time to put in the hard work. Your work-life balance actually comes out later.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore.
If you want to change your life, you must change your ways. You must develop discipline.
In order for something new to come, something old must go.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
The easiest thing in life is to give up. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to.
People give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit.
I love the mentality that I'm just beating my competitors silently where they don't even know it. They're out partying, I'm out here getting ahead.
When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it, like you're all in on this thing, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become.
If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take. One of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
You can achieve the absolute impossible. You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other stuff. What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
The big challenge is when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. You have to challenge yourself to be consistent. Sometimes it's hard because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do it that? It's difficult. It's
the discipline.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in sports, but in life.
One of your quotes is, when you're winning, you're not as good as you think you are. When you're losing, you're not as bad as you think you are. What's that mean to you?
When you're winning, everybody is telling you how amazing you are. Oh my God, let me tell you, dude, you know what? You're the best. You're amazing. You know, you're just better than that guy, and you're better than this guy. And it always takes me back to that quote of Marcus Aurelius, who had a slave that would sit behind him and always whisper to him, hey,
you're just a man.
You're just a man.
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you.
4th grade, I went in my closet, I said, I am going to the NBA. Anything you invoke with I am after it, the power of manifestation and what can happen in the universe comes true.
I have so much unconditional belief in myself that I tell people that if you believe in yourself, if you genuinely believe in yourself, you are 75% already there. If you believe yourself, put in the work, it's done.
You know